Hey, it's Harry from Lambert Daddy here. I'm going to take you through 6 of the most popular pork injections. We're going to cook them, taste them, and tell you the final results. Do you ever want to up your pork game and inject your pork butts before you cook them? Well, I'm a competition pitmaster, and when I'm on the Team Lambert Daddy BBQ and I compete on a competition circuit, I always inject my pork butts. So here's a pork butt. It's a 2-pack, and I'm gonna do an experiment today because I always wanted to find out among some of the more popular injections which one yields the best result. The premise is really simple. I'm gonna go and use 6 of the popular ones you see here. We're going to cook the pork according to the directions on the bottle, whether we inject with water or juice, and then we're gonna basically taste them all and then share with you the final results. Big disclaimer here, I'm not sponsored by these vendors, a lot of them my friends, but what I'm gonna try to do is give you my objective viewpoint using these injections which I purchased online. The first one is the one from Dave Buska, it's my friend, pork injection. He makes a pork injection that's used by a lot of competition teams. Second one is by Kosmos, also a buddy of mine. I use these injections in competition. It really works really great, but we'll see how it stacks up against all the other competition. This one by Sweet's brine of mine is Mark Lambert. He's a world champion and he puts out a really great pork product. So we're gonna test his injection. And Heath Rouse from Victory Lane puts out his pork injection. He's also a world champion pitmaster. So we're gonna try out his injection following exactly the instructions. These folks are from Florida, Sweet Smoke Q. I heard a lot of good things about their products. I've never tried it before, so this is gonna be my first time. And this one here is a Smoke on Wheels, a very popular injection used by many competition teams on the West Coast. I'm gonna give this one a shot also, and we're gonna try all 6 and then share the results with you. We're gonna make the injections now, and we're gonna use some water. And I think for the sake of consistency, I'm gonna use water for all the 5 injections. This one's already pre-mixed, so I don't need to mix it up. And I'm gonna use a blender to blend the ingredients with the water so that once we get the foam, we'll let the foam settle so you can see the final color of the liquid. Second one done. So there you have it. We've mixed up the 6 injections. So just to recap, this is by Butcher BBQ, Kosmos, Mark Lambert, Sweet Swine of mine, Heath from Victory Lane, Sweet Smoke Juice, and Smoke on Wheels. So we'll show you guys a little bit of a taste test before we inject, and I'll share my impressions on how it looks, what's the color, and how it tastes next. I have a glass, a clear plastic cup here, so I want to pour it out and then show you what the color looks like. This is a little bit foamy, but my experience tells me that it'll settle out a little bit. But I want to show you kind of the color of each one of these products here. So the first 2 are very foamy, but over time that will calm down. You can see all different colored. This one is all a little bit foamy. And here are all the different colors. So I'm gonna do a quick taste test, see what they taste like. So let me start on my right, which is the Smoke on Wheels. You know, one thing about pork injections, they really don't taste really very good before you inject, but after you inject, the magic happens. So this one tastes salty, got a bit of vinegar in it, some spices, not too salty at all. So that's one down. And the Sweet Smoke Juice, very mild, not salty at all compared to this one. Next sample, so Victory Lane. It's got a nice consistency. There's some thickener in there. I can see the liquid being a little thicker than just plain water. Sweet, salty, a little bit smoky. Let's try the Sweet Swine of mine. Kind of orangey liquid here. Oh, very salty. And it's like kind of like the way you mix salt and then spices and puree in the water. Let's try the Kosmos. also very foamy and very thick, so it's got some kind of thickener. And I know from experience that once you let it sit, it'll settle out and become a liquid. Well, it's kind of salty, a little sweet, some flavor in it. I'm not sure whether it's a natural flavor, pork flavor, or is maybe monosodium glutamate. Okay, finally the one from Butcher, very salty. So the Butcher and then the smoke on wheels are the saltiest among the 6. This one is kind of non-salty, and these 3 are about a tie. So salty, not salty, medium salty, and pretty salty. So these 2 are the saltiest, these 3 are not so salty, and this one is the least salty. So that's the kind of informal taste test. We're gonna pre-prep the butts now. We inject the butts, cook them, and give them a final taste to see which ones seem to come out better. All right, so we have 6 pork butts here. I'm gonna trim them up. And because this is just a test, I'm not going to cook the whole pork butt. We're gonna save the meat, maybe make some sausages out of it, do something with it. But I'm just gonna cut away the muscles that I need for the test. So I'm gonna have 6 pork butts here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim away this muscle here, which is the pectoralis profundi, and that's the money muscle. So we'll get 6 money muscles, and we'll test them using basically a small little pork butt. I don't need a lot to test. Cut this off here, like so. Set this one aside. Same with this one here. Cutting away the money muscle, which is the pectoralis profundi, pork butt. So ready to go. Here we have the 6 pork butts. I cut out the money muscle, and we're gonna inject it with the 6 competition injections. And let me start with the first one, which is the Butcher injection. So you can see it from the color is a kind of a medium brown, and it's kind of thickened up a little bit. It's been refrigerated for about a couple of hours, and I'm ready to inject it. I'm gonna inject about maybe 3-4 ounces. And like so, with the grain. Pump it up a little bit. I'm gonna do maybe 3 shots. And that should be enough to send the flavor through the pork money muscle. And we're gonna smoke it without any rub to see what the flavor tastes like when the injection is combined with the pork butt. And on the indicator, this one has no toothpicks, is the first one. The one with the 1 toothpick is the second one, which is Kosmos. The third has 2 toothpicks. This is the sweet swine of mine. And we have the 4th one here with 3 toothpicks. This one is the Victory Lane. And we have this one, which is the 4 toothpicks, is gonna be Sweet Smoke. And the last but not least is the 5, which is Smoke on Wheels here. All right, there you have it. So we've injected 6 of the money muscle with 6 competition injections. And we're gonna let it rest for a couple hours. And we're gonna cook it in the pit. We're gonna see how it tastes with just smoke and the injection. We're back, and the pork butts have been cooked, and I have the 6 sets of pork butts here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna taste each individual one. I'm gonna take 2 bites, one from the edge and one from the middle, to see how the injection fare. So the first one I'm gonna taste is going to be the Kosmos injection. I'm sorry, the first one is the Butcher injection, second one is Kosmos. And this one has been cooked with basically no seasoning, just the injection and some smoke, cooked in a 275-degree pit. Second bite in the middle. Nice level of saltiness, about right on the saltiness, has pork flavor. So overall, the Butcher injection did not change the flavor and the texture of the pork too much. I'm not seeing any streaks in here, and I have a nice smoke ring. So the first one is good. Second one I'm going to try is the Kosmos. See how the flavor is. Nice smoke ring, no staining, so that's good. Good pork flavor, a little bit of smoke. Saltiness is about right. Just biting the middle piece. The injection was good. It did not overpower the pork. I can taste pork on both the pieces. Flavor profile is about the same, very neutral. So let's move on to the sweet swine of mine. This one here. Also very neutral, good pork flavor. Saltiness is about right. There's let me see here, there's no staining, so it looks good. And let me eat the middle piece now. No aftertaste, pork is able to shine through. So all three are very good. Let me move on to this one, Victory Lane. Eat the side piece. Very good pork flavor. Saltiness is about right. There's no staining, so very good looking pork. I'm going to eat the middle piece now. Good flavor. I think the saltiness penetrated the middle. Okay, this one is the sweet smoke. Fairly neutral, no aftertaste. The pork flavor is able to shine through. And the last one, no staining, middle piece here. Let's try this out. Still very good. So far 5 good samples. Let me try the last one. Smoke on wheels. Very neutral. Saltiness about right. I don't see any staining, so that's good. The bite here. So all 6 injections overall, very good. They all tasted like pork. I don't taste any pre-taste, and there's no aftertaste at all. So all were able to bring out the natural flavor of the pork. So what I'm gonna go is go back now and have a second bite, and then see where I rank all these different injections. So I think overall, following the formula on the bottle, the saltiness seems about right. None of them have any aftertaste. I don't taste any strong hints of any kind of chemicals. Very neutral pork flavor. Some seem to have a little bit more flavor than others, so I'm going to go back and try it again. All right, I've gone to the second pass now. Forming some distinct impressions. Now let me go to the third pass. All right, so here are my final thoughts. First of all 6 competition injections were able to impart an additional depth to the flavor of the pork versus not using any injection. All 6 did not stain the pork, so that's very good. So flavor wise, I see some trends here. So these smoke on wheels, in the Victory Lane, have a hint of sweetness to them. And then the sweet smoke and the sweet swine of mine were quite similar. And then it looks like the flavor profile of the Kosmos and the Butcher is about on par. So if I had to sort them in groups, I would say that the Smoke on Wheels and the Victory Lane are kind of one camp. Tasting that the Sweet Smoke Q and the Victory Lane, in the Sweet Swine of mine and the Sweet Smoke Q in another camp, not so sweet. And then the flavor profile for the Butcher and the Kosmos is about the same. If I were to compete, I guess the $60 question will be, which one would I use? They are all 6 good injections. And I think that if I were in the mood for a slightly sweeter kind of pork, I think that the Smoke on Wheels and then the Victory Lane would be what I would pick. If I'm shooting for more pork flavor, I think that just more neutral flavor without so much sweet, the Kosmos and the Butcher would work. And then lastly, if I want to go for just a more neutral flavor, I think that the sweet swine of mine and then the sweet smoke will work. So my conclusion is all 6 are really good competition injections. It kind of depends on my mood that day and what I'm planning to do. And if I'm cooking more sweet and more sort of like more pork flavor or something salty middle of the road. So what I would suggest is that using the injection alone is not going to guarantee you a wok, but when you combine injection coupled with good cooking technique, the right kind of smoke, and most importantly your rub, because there's no rub on any of these meats. I'm tasting just pure pork and pure injection. Recap, all 6 met the criteria. All 6 are really good injection marinades that you can purchase. I think that if you want to cook in a contest, there are going to be other factors that will play in, which is basically the rub, the quality of the meat, the way you control your pit, the pit temperature, how well you form the bark, and the smoke ring, and a whole host of other intangibles. But I would say all 6, right, have met my criteria as being decent and award-winning injections. If I had to compete in the contest, you know what I would do is I kind of like the sweetness of the Victory Lane and the sweet smoke, the smoke on views. I also like the kind of the pork flavor of the Kosmos and Butcher. So who knows? I think maybe in my next competition I'll try a combination. I think that mixing the Butcher and Kosmos might be something I would try. Obviously, I'm going to have to cook it again to get the kind of the ratio and the balance right. For example, I think that if I were to combine the Kosmos and the Butcher, that would really be able to be a good blend of the 2 kinds of flavors. And then the sweetness comes from the Victory Lane and the sweet smoke on wheels. Maybe a combination of something sweet between the smoke on wheels and the what do you call Victory Lane, combined with maybe the pork flavor of the Kosmos and Butcher. So I'm not suggesting this, but maybe 4 different injections mixed together might be the winning combination. I don't know. But what is fascinating about barbecue is this is the fun part. You get to experiment, you get to try different combinations, and then you take it to the contest, and then you turn it into the judges, and then either you get your butt kicked or you go for a walk. So that's what makes it fun with barbecue. That's why I love what I do. I hope this video has been useful to you. I've shown you 6 different injections, how to apply them, how to use them, how to taste them. Again, the qualifier is this test was done primarily using just injection in the pork, nothing else. I just want to make sure, a disclaimer here, none of this is sponsored by anybody. This is my personal viewpoint. I'm a certified barbecue judge. I'm also a competitive pitmaster. So these are my impressions having tasted and tested 6 of these top competition injections. I hope you like my video. Please subscribe if you can and share it with your friends. See you next time.